up, nation? Welcome to the Monday show. Of course, my name's Philip DeFranco, and this show is really just me talking about newsy top stuff and things that matter to me today. And a quick side note before we jump into everything, last Thursday I said I just wasn't kind of feeling it, turns out. I had strep throat, which turned into laying in bed and having a 103-degree fever all weekend. But I knocked out a lot of the book Ender's Game. And lastly, before we jump into everything, the BizMonkey poster and bikini boombox behind me, finally available at forhumanpeoples.com, so there is that. And let's jump into the first story of the day. And nation, the first thing I want to talk about today is obviously Christina Hendricks and Olivia Munn. If you were under a rock this weekend, or you are not a huge pervert like myself, you might not know Olivia and Christina both have nudes on the internet now. The Christina Hendricks photo is fantastic. Have her in this sexy piece, just at home chilling, look at those eyes. And then there's finally one that I cannot show in this video that is just her boobs. Christina Hendricks and Olivia Munn's people both responded that yes, their phones were hacked, these pictures are them, except for the nudes. And then of course there are the Olivia Munn ones where she is technically clothed, but the mixture of provocative photos, the right type of clothing, and Sketch, which is the very handy Mac screen capping software where you can take a picture and then add arrows. I do have to say, if she's admitting the photos are real, I wonder if she's also saying the sketches are her idea as well. Because if so, Olivia Munn apparently a huge fan of anal and also many daddy issues. So this story interesting for two reasons. One, it's sexy, sexy ladies, and two, you have to wonder what the consequences are going to be. I mean, it is the internet, but a lot of people forget there are consequences. A great example would be Hollywood hacker Christopher Cheney. He, of course, is the notorious celebrity phone hacker responsible for the now infamous ScarJo pics. He was arrested, charged with identity theft, illegal wiretapping, and his consequences, well, he could face up to 121 years in jail. What it's really going to come down to is how much of an example do they want to make. Even though celebrities are watched all the time and it's part of the lifestyle, they are still people and they are being exploited. Their personal lives and their privacy intruded upon, and then people, myself being a prime example, guilty of using it as a topic. Just as plainly and common as if I was talking about the weather, because it has become such a normal part of our society. And so it's not a question of, yo guys, you like these pictures? Obviously, you have the impossibly curvy, and the import model that fakes to love games, but are we bad people for embracing, spreading, perpetuating this thing? Only on the Philip DeFranco show can we take nude pics and go, what does this make us feel about ourselves? And nation, from there, let's move on to some video game stuff because I am in love. There was a lot of stuff today. I mean, there was the Halo 4 video that was released that was kind of cool, but I know it is not a very popular opinion to have on the internet. I am not the biggest fan of Halo. I mean, I was, like with Halo 2. I mean, some of my best gaming memories came from Halo 2, but like with the new stuff, I really don't enjoy it as much. But it was really cool to see what they're doing to Master Chief and the whole game to bring it up. And then, of course, Mass Effect 3 coming out tomorrow, which is amazing and also kind of sad. Like, you know, an asteroid's gonna hit the planet tomorrow. In this scenario, the planet being my personal life. And you just look around at all your friends and the happy faces, and you're like, they don't even know it's coming. Those poor bastards. Those poor bastards. I'll take my Emmy. Oh man, I'm such a good actor. So, you know, excited to stop playing the ME3 demo and play the ME3 game. And then, in my opinion, the most exciting piece of game news today was the Assassin's Creed 3 trailer. And oh yes! If you lost your shit over the leaked box art, you are going to love this. I'm so excited. I'm pitting right now. That or the Fever. That might be doing it as well. But come on, you have unnamed assassin in the woods killing redcoats. He's climbing trees and oh my god, that's George Washington. I want to be best friends with George Washington and Ben Franklin, and they make me weapons like wooden teeth that shoot out from my wrist. 5 people in the face, maybe, or something. The main point, awesome trailers are awesome. I want them now, but we can't get them. And so, we move on. And nation, today was filled with a lot of awesome, including an invisible car, asterisk. I say asterisk because it's not really invisible. The guys over at Mercedes were like, we have this new car that's really good for the environment. What should our campaign be? And so they decided the campaign should be like, oh, it's like you're not even driving a car because it doesn't hurt the planet. And so they put a bunch of Canon DSLRs on one side, and a bunch of matte LEDs on the other, and it's kind of awesome except for the wheels. So it's a pretty awesome invisible car as long as you don't stare at the glaring problem. Like, you know, when you're having sex with a hot girl with a butterface. Just stare at the things that reconfirm that this is an awesome thing that you are experiencing. Because sometimes to enjoy a semi-awesome thing, the truth really shouldn't come into play. But main point, invisible car. Asterisk. And then another bit of awesome that could be used for good and evil is the Vortex gun. I'm just excited about the name Vortex gun. It's a new gun that has a special cylinder on the end that creates a vortex ring that barrels 90 miles per hour. And the vortex rings consist of particles that are electrically charged, meaning, and I didn't know this, that they actually stick to their target. And so when I say this could be used for good and evil, the first is that they want to give this to firefighters. A firefighter goes into a house that is on fire, he shoots this thing and it clears out the smoke. Can help in rescuing people, finding exits, a lot of really awesome stuff. On the other end of what this could possibly be used for, we involve the riot police. Because one of the ways this could be used is with pepper spray. Not only could they use this to shoot this from much further away, but the pepper spray would actually stick to the skin of the target. If you don't know, that is probably not happy fun time. So there you go, like most advances in technology could be used for good, but most likely will be used to hurt people. Yeah, science, bitch. Nation, the last thing I want to talk about today is good old Rush Limbaugh. We haven't talked about Rush in a while because he's an absurd little man who shouts absurd little things for recognition. But today the story was too good to not talk about it. And so the whole thing started February 23rd when Sandra Fluke decided, hey, I'm gonna go to this Democratic hearing and talk about contraception. Specifically how free contraception should be a part of all healthcare plans. And you know what? She brings up some good personal points. She talks about her friend who takes the pill because she has ovarian cysts. And then Rush Limbaugh happened. And I think good old Rush just read the headline. He's like, Sandra Fluke talks about contraception. What a bitch! And so on his radio show, he said, can you imagine if you're her parents how proud of Sandra Fluke you would be? Your daughter testifies she's having so much sex she can't afford her own birth control pills and agrees with Obama should provide them, or the Pope. Fluke then went on to say how her birth control over the past 3 years has cost her $3,000. $3,000 for birth control? That's $1,000 a year of sex. And she wants us to pay for it? They're admitting in front of a congressional committee they are having so much sex they can't afford it. So, you know, at this point, Rush is just being argumentative, being good old Rush, and then he says, and what does that make her? It makes her a slut, right? It makes her a prostitute. She wants to be paid to have sex. So what does that make us? We're the pimps. But then Rush, because he's Rush Limbaugh, didn't stop there, saying, so Miss Fluke and the rest of your feminazis, here's the deal. I know it's so weird that people think that Rush Limbaugh hates women. I mean, I don't know where they would get that idea. If we are going to pay for your contraceptives and thus pay you to have sex, we want something for it. We want you to post the videos online so we can watch. He said that. That was fantastic. Good job, Rush. And so when everyone cried out against him, we're like, whoa, hey, asshole, why are you being an asshole? Rush responds with a very even keel statement. Back in my day, gals put aspirin between their legs in lieu of contraception. Rush then responded by saying that he's more than happy to give Miss Fluke aspirin to put between her legs. This caused general outrage, the Democrats really rallying behind it, Obama even talking about contraception and this whole issue, which is what happens when you're an asshole who calls a woman who has like a normal, healthy sex life a slut. Not even a slut, a prostitute that if we are to fund contraception should be our slut. One that has to videotape herself having sex so that we can go, yeah, that's okay that we helped you. I mean, the whole contraception argument, that's a whole different video. I know a lot of upper middle class people are like, why should I have to pay taxes for that? I don't know, so those low-income families that you hate so much because they're leeching off you, they're gonna have kids that are gonna leech off you more, gonna take up room in your schools, maybe end up with a foster family because their family sucks, you're gonna have to take care of their health care, their unemployment. But like I said, that's a whole nother video. This is about Rush, because Rush finally gave an apology and said, you know, I didn't mean to say that, I used the wrong analogies. You can see his whole like full apology. I'll include a link down below. And so for a second I was like, oh man, you know, he usually sticks with his guns. This must really mean something to him. It turns out his sponsors are leaving him, and that is most likely the reason he was like, I should apologize. And so far 8 companies, including AOL, have ditched the asshole and said, good day to you, sir. Continue your general woman hating, but not with our logo. That would be bad for us. So there you go. The one redeeming thing about Rush Limbaugh is that he's a man that stuck by his guns until today, when he became just another celebrity pussy whipped by the almighty dollar. But the big problem for Rush is that he changed what the argument was about. When it is about politics, about religion, Republican, Democrat, that is a badge you wear and you say, I'm with these guys, you're with those guys. These guys got my back. But then you changed that argument when you made it about men and women. And here, you didn't have a badge. You didn't have a uniform to belong with anyone. You were a lone gunman, taking shots that no one wanted to back, and that was your problem. And then, rightfully so, Sandra Fluke heard of the apology and dismissed it. I made the point that I just echoed, that the conservative host is just scared of losing sponsors. So guys, like I said, that's just my opinion, and of course, that's going to bring us to the question of the day. Do you think contraception, if a person wants it, should be a part of a healthcare plan? Why not? Let me know. Hey guys, that has brought us to the part of the show where I'll throw something at your face, and today it is a brand new PS Vita, so brace your face. Of course, to possibly get pelted in the face with said thing, you just gotta leave a comment on this video. And of course, a big thank you to those of you that remember to clickety-clack the like button, favorite when you really like it, share some common sense like you do. And of course, if you are not 100% filled in with the news, remember to check out SourceFed, my other channel. Today we had the very special guest, Harley Epic Mealtime, hanging out with us. So guys, that was enough blah blah blah. Of course, as always, my name is Philip DeFranco, and you've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.